Yeah, we're gonna need a new link, guys.
Okay.
So it's here in the chat. I think it's because I have both things open. I have like Google Meet, the game that is streaming, and also my own video so I can answer your questions.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, that's probably why. There's like too many things going on at once for my poor little internet connection. Anyway, it says here that nobody has joined yet, I think.
No,
Okay.
I mean,
You're here, Rafa? Alright. Max, are you there, man?
You are standing.
Yeah, I'm
still,
standing inside the
and
temple of
then
Athena.
There's a pool.
Okay, so let's discuss the thing. Okay, thank you. Let's discuss the thing about the pool, right? So, why is the pool here? It's here for humidity control, because the statue is made of marble. And grease, because it's influenced by the hot winds in the Sahara, gets very, very hot and very, very dry. So the thing needs to be here to preserve the statue, right? And I love the texture here. You can really, really see that's marble. It's made by this dude called Phidias, right? The sculptor. And Athena in her hand holds the goddess of victory, Nike, the same name as the shoe brand.
Mister.
Yeah.
Nowadays, is it still like perfect like that?
No, it does not exist anymore, Rafa. Very, very unfortunately, it was destroyed and lost to time. So it's not there.
Why?
And the Parthenon.
Lost to someone.
No, there are a few possibilities for that. So one of them includes, like during the Crusades in the Middle Ages, there was an attack. Actually, there was a war between Christians and Arabs, right, and Turks in Greece. And the Parthenon was bombarded from a distance with catapults and so on. So that's probably one of the possibilities.
Or Arabians.
No, the Christians attacked the Muslims, which were standing in Greece, and
So
without
destroyed
probably that's the thing. Probably the Christians, because when they used the catapults against the Acropolis, like lots and lots and lots of the Acropolis was destroyed, including a large part of the Parthenon and the statue itself. So totally sucks.
But now I'm really bad at ancient Christianity.
Yeah, man. But most historians believe it was an accident, right? They didn't know that the statue was in there. So, let's see. Anyway, let's move on. Too much time
Someone
spent.
doesn't believe the war started a war. That's strange.
Yeah. Let me take a look.
What
Let me
if
see
they
something.
didn't want to like the Muslims get like the new, oh, I forgot the name, religion
Religion?
of Greece. Yeah.
No, but then that's the thing. That's the thing, Rafa. I don't think that like the bombardment happened like for religious reasons against Greek religion or Greek mythology or anything like that, right? The guys were at war, and then things happened. They bombarded the city, and a temple was struck. I mean, in this case, the Parthenon was struck, and then statue was destroyed. Ward is offering a cool piece of information here. He says, I think for the Romans, the goddess Nike is called Adidas, another sporting brand thing. So guys,
Don't they get like did they get those names from Greek mythology and
Yeah, lots of those, Rafa. We have the best examples, in my opinion, are Nike and the Brazilian brand Olímpicos. Right, both connected to Greeks. Yeah, they changed. Yeah, but I don't know if Ward is right, sorry on this one, Ward. But if I'm not mistaken, Adidas is like the last name of the dude who created the brand in Germany or something. I don't think it has to do with the Greeks. But anyway, we can check later. Guys, so this is Sparta, and as you can see, it's much more simple than Athens, right? And this really says a lot about these two cities. You can also see that it's much smaller, still has cool buildings and so on, but Athens is like gigantic. And we can visit some training centers and some stuff here, so let's take a look at some of those. Let me see. There are parts of town. Oh, by the way, the guy you just saw running, here, another running dude. Those are the Ilotas, the high-lows. So these guys are the ones that suffer from the Crypteia, which is the periodical killing of the slaves to keep Spartans in power. And this is the main part of town, where you have the marketplace. So a bunch of slaves rounded up here. And this is the market. So each of these doors is a store. And also in Sparta, everything as you see is red, right? With their flag banners and so on. In Athens, it's all blue with the owl. This is the promenade in the center of town. And this is actually the town entrance right here. So the first moment you walk in to Sparta, this is what you see here when you enter. Leonidas is here! Hello Leonidas. Not talking to you, it's gonna take too long, but King Leonidas of Sparta, the one about the 300 and the hot gates and so on, is here. We can talk to him if we want. He takes us on a tour, like a guided tour, and he discusses Spartan education. So let me see here if I can find like training centers and so on. Oh, here. So, a few training centers here. You would have people practicing with their swords and lances, bows and shields, and so on. This is like kind of like a military barracks kind of area. A huge statue of Spartan warriors here. And this is where you would do physical activities, right? So remember that according to Spartan law, you join the army when you're 7 years old and you leave when you're 30. You actually continue working until you're 50 or 60, but like the military service goes from 7 to 30. So this is one of the training sites where you have races and that sort of stuff. Kind of like the predecessor for stadiums. Let me see what else we can take a look at. Oh, I have a suggestion, guys. I think we should move on to the palace of King Minos and take a look at the Minotaur. Yeah, Rafa?
Did you go to the that I asked in Greek?
I'm sorry, man?
Of the region. I forgot the name.
Oh, the Sphinx!
Yeah.
Oh my god, in flames, man. Yes, I just have to remember where she is because I played it like a billion years ago, and I just have to find like in which of the places. Sorry, man?
Is it really Adidas, the god?
No, as I said, I don't think so, Rafa. Let me just open up a quick Google tab here. So, origin of the name Adidas. Ah, I knew it. Here we go. It's the name of the guy who created the brand, as I said. So Adidas comes from a dude called Adolf Dassler, and his nickname was Adi. So it's Adi from Adolf and Das from Dassler, right? They started manufacturing shoes after World War I, so that's the reason.
Yeah, look, I think it's Victoria.
Okay, which one is Victoria, Rafa? Sorry.
The goddess of victory.
Oh yeah, that's Nike. The Roman name is Victoria.
Yeah. So it's only Victoria the god of victory? I was expecting something more, I don't know.
Expecting a different name, yeah, something a little more interesting, but I'm looking at a map here, Rafa. Like I have another computer with a tab open, and I'm looking for the Sphinx here for the map. Can't find a decent map with the location. Hang on. Meanwhile, while it loads, tell you what, Rafa, I think we can check out Medusa. Let me just check if it's here. Yeah, if it's here. Petrified Valley. Let's go there.
I don't like that much Roman mythology because it's almost the same as Greek, like the gods, and their names are boring. It's like Poseidon is, I don't know, Neptune.
Yeah, it's names of planets usually.
Yeah. Why?
Because...
Which names are better?
Yeah, I know. The Greek names are much cooler, but there is a reason for that, Rafa. The thing is, according to legend, the Greeks were like some of the first people to arrive in the Italian peninsula after the Trojan War. A dude called Aeneas was one of the travelers and established like a Greek colony in Italy. So they also got in touch with people from the region, which are the Etruscans. And the Etruscans were very, very good at like farming and harvesting and some other stuff, because they were very, very good with astronomy, of like looking at the stars and trying to predict the weather and that kind of stuff. So when they started putting both things together, so Greek mythology was influenced by Etruscan myth and vice versa. So the Greek gods were kind of fused with Etruscan names. So that's why when we move to Rome, we get different names and names of planets, constellations, and that kind of stuff. Oh, let's try to take a horse.
When you first got in the place that you were like standing in the thin thingy, you're like, I believe I can find the
Yeah. So here we go. We're getting closer to Medusa's lair, and as you guys can already see, hopefully, things start getting very dilapidated, right? So this is kind of like a petrified forest area, and my horse does not wish to come in. Yeah, man.
Medusa petrified only humans or any living thing?
Only humans. Only humans. In myth, only humans. But here in the game, if you're riding the horse, then the horse doesn't want to go in. And we know we're getting closer because then you start seeing soldiers like turn to stone here, right? So this is kind of like a labyrinth area kind of thing. There is a mission in the game where you have to explore this and go through it. Here.
Does Medusa like you need to kill Medusa in the game?
Yes, yes, there is a mission for that. I made a video for it. Rafa, I can send you some of the links. Like if you just go on YouTube later and you type in like História com Jorge, then you're gonna find some. Oh, here she is. Okay, let's try to zoom in. Oops, wrong button. Here. So this is her, like in the interpretation of the game, right? This is her version of the thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks quite cool, right?
Yeah.
And like, I still like it that she has legs, because sometimes you see pictures of Medusa and she would have like a tail or snake tail and so on. And I like this, yeah, I like this version a lot. Yeah, and she's still kind of beautiful, but in a very strange way, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like a throwback to the story. And in the game, Rafa, when you're like actually playing with enemies and stuff, this door opens, and then you go inside, there is a huge labyrinth, and then you find her inside. Yeah, and then you get to fight her, and eventually kill her. Here. And the thing I like about playing on the discovery thing here with enemies turned off is that you click the buttons and then you can see like real historical documents. So in this case we have Perseus fighting Medusa and this kind of stuff.
Okay, Miss, one thing that I never understood in the story of Medusa, some people said that she's a gargoyle, right?
She's a what? Sorry?
A gargoyle, I don't know.
Oh yeah, Gorgon, yes.
Yeah, gargoyle. That she has 3 sisters.
Mhm.
2 sisters.
Yeah, Chu.
And they were like, Medusa was hair snake, and then she was the only one like beautiful and normal. But why?
If I'm not mistaken, Rafa, her 2 sisters are cursed at birth, and then they're kind of like these monsters. But later on, they become the 3 Furies, the 3 Gorgons, right? So they become like, as time passes, they become these evil creatures, full of cruelty and hate, and so on. But I have to check that out. I don't remember the original reason. I think it was a curse. Something to do with their dad, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem, man. So, Rafa, I found the Sphinx on a map on the internet. So, we are in Thebes, and this has to do with Hercules and so on. So, Medusa is actually close by.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Hercules.
Hercules.
Ah, that's cool, man. I like that movie too. I especially like the songs. The songs are so great.
All Disney's movies are great.
Yeah. My favorites are probably Hercules and Aladdin. I also love the songs in Aladdin a lot.
Yes, me too. Arabian
Did you watch the remake half of Aladdin with like real actors instead of cartoon?
Yes.
Is it good?
And I love it. So good.
Oh, that's good to know, man.
And I love the song of Jasmine.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's nice. I'll take a look. No, don't fire it up. Sorry. Here. Okay. Oh man, this game is so cool. One of the things I really enjoy is like you have a town, and just outside of town you would have like a farm and plants and so on. So it gets to be realistic. Somewhat realistic, right? Considering you have monsters and stuff, but somewhat realistic. So according to the thing on the internet, she should be somewhere around here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in favor of that, man. Come on, if you're gonna make a Greek world, give me some monsters, right? Here she is, Hafa. This is the Sphinx. Here we go. So, this is the Greek Sphinx. And once again in the game, when you get here, it becomes alive, and then you can talk to it, and so on. Very different from the Egyptian Sphinx, right?
Yeah.
This one, as usual, has the body of a lion, wings, and face of a woman, and she has a few riddles. So the riddles pop up, and in the columns here, you press, like you click here. I think you can kind of see the button here with the three, here, with the three, and then there are riddles, and you have to press a few buttons to uncover the riddles. But yes, Haf, I interrupted you, man, sorry.
Did you do the riddles in your YouTube channel?
I don't remember if I did the riddles, Haf. I discussed, like, what is the difference between the Greek Sphinx, the Egyptian Sphinx. I showed a bit of the fight, but I think, like, because of the spoilers, I didn't show the riddles and the answers. I think that's what I did, because I wanted people to enjoy the mystery, right?
Can you, like, get out of the mode and do the riddles?
But that's the thing, man. If I do that, she's already gonna be dead. I don't think we can, like, do the battle again, right?
No.
And if I restart the game, it takes a long time until you reach the point where you are, like, strong enough. Because it's like halfway through the game, so it's gonna take like something like 20 hours or 30 hours to reach it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I'm moving on to the palace of King Minos, so that we can take a look at the whole Minotaur thing.
Do they do, like, riddles that seem impossible when you think it's just easy?
The riddle?
Yeah.
Yes. At the first, like, when I played it, I was like, what the hell kind of question is this? You know? And I started thinking about it, and it took me a while, but I eventually got it. And it's so cool because once you get it, you go like, oh my god, this is so obvious.
Yeah.
Right? Once you understand it.
Like, there's a library with 1,000 books. Many books.
Uh-huh.
And how many letters are in those books?
Oh my god, man.
Yeah, then you're like, oh my god, I don't know, 1,000, no, a million, no, a zillion.
Uh-huh.
No, and then it's just like 10 because those books have 10 letters.
Oh, that's nice. So here we are, man. This is the remains of the Palace of Knossos. This is where King Minos used to live in Crete. Let me try to go outside.
King Minos is evil, right?
Yeah, he's the evil dude who captured Daedalus, the inventor, and Icarus, the sun, right? And then they have the whole thing about escaping by flying and so on.
Oh, yeah, okay. And then he went too high and his wings melted and then he...
Yeah, then he falls down in the sea, which is actually called nowadays the Sea of Icaria. Because that's supposedly where Icarus fell. Sorry. So this is the outside of the palace. And as you can see, this is huge. Yeah, Hafa, sorry?
In the game, is there like a part that you can talk to the gods?
Not to the gods. You just talk to like regular people. But lots of mythological creatures, including the Minotaur. There is also, there are a few giants. There are 2, I think.
Cyclopses.
Yeah. Let me see if I can remember where the entrance to the labyrinth is. So huge, huge palace. Let's see if I can still find it. I don't know if it's gonna be open though. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
What is the name of the video that you did about Medusa?
It's Assassin's Creed Odyssey Medusa. If you just Google História com Jorge and you go to the like videos, like old videos, then it's there. Oh, here we go, Rafa. This is the entrance to the labyrinth. Found it.
Well, Mister, am I the only one here? Or there's...
Yeah, I think so, man. Yeah, everybody left. It's just us. Oh, here we go. This is the Minotaur. Here he is.
I would not have missed it by nothing.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, Greek mythology is so cool, right?
Yeah.
So, this is it.
Labyrinth is the one that the Bad King sends the person and then with like, and he could choose anything and then he chose a sword and then a bunch and then he was like starting to trace his bed with a bunch and then
Yeah. There are a few things about that, Rafa. So the story goes more or less like this. Theseus is, if I'm not mistaken, Athenian, and he gets called to the island of Crete because they have to pay him tribute, right? They have to pay Minos a tribute from time to time. Let me just move on to Ithaca, which is the home of Odysseus here. So they have to pay tribute, and then he says, I will have this no more. I'll go down there and negotiate and so on. Because, if I'm not wrong, he's the son of the Athenian king. And they go through negotiations, and Minos actually explains the story of the Minotaur, saying, yeah, I was cursed by Poseidon. Because Poseidon said that if I sacrificed some of my bulls and so on, I would have lots of power if I gave him like my best bull. But the one I gave was the weakest one. So to punish me, he created the Minotaur, the beast that lives in my palace and that I have to feed. So he gets like very, very upset and forces him and say, okay, so basically you're lost, you have to go there and do the thing. Oh, cool statue of Zeus here. So he starts feeding the Minotaur and people start paying tribute and so on. So Theseus tries to put an end to the whole situation. And what happens then?
The king forced him to go.
No, they were like, it was kind of like a political negotiation, if I'm not wrong, right? So Theseus goes and then meets a girl called Ariadne, which is one of the daughters of King Minos. Ariadne falls in love with him, with Theseus, and gives him the piece of string. And Minos says, you're going to enter the labyrinth with nothing at all except for a sword and whatever else you desire. And he says, I want a piece of string. And then he goes in, he doesn't get lost, and all of that. And if I'm not mistaken, Ariadne is also connected to Arachne, which is a seamstress, right? And that's where she learns how to sew stuff.
Arachne, I also remember the story. It's like she was
Yeah, she's a seamstress, that's the word. Yes. Yeah, she can shapeshift, and she can also shapeshift others.
Oh, wow. Metaverses. And so, and then she said, like, you should not, like, it is, like, doesn't underestimate the gods. I
Okay.
that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. So, man, this is the palace of Odysseus. I don't know if you were in class on this. They have, when I told a large part of the Odyssey, of the dude who's trying to come back from Troy to Greece.
Yeah, and then the horse, right?
Yeah, the Trojan horse and that stuff. So,
Oh yeah, and then they were like with the moles, the dead of the person who fall, right?
I'm sorry, man.
It's the like I don't know if it's the dad, but what's the name of the person that went to fly and then fell?
Oh, Icarus.
Yeah, the.
Oh, his father is Daedalus.
Okay, not that one.
I think you're probably thinking about Odysseus' son, which is Telemachus. And the thing is, Odysseus left because of the war and then took way too long to come back. And then he was pronounced dead, but his wife said, no way, I think he's still alive. And then the suitors come to her palace and drink her wine and eat her food. And he comes back with the help of Athena, and he's disguised as a beggar. And then there is a tournament. He participates in the tournament, like he strings a bow, shoots an arrow through 7 rings.
Oh yeah.
So that's the one. This is the palace we are in right now. I'm walking around here, Rafa, trying to see if I can find the mural. There is this very cool mural of Odysseus, or Ulysses, right? Which is the same person, where he's tied to the mast and the sirens are singing and sailors are rowing. So there's a part of the Odyssey. It's here in one of the walls.
And then he was like, he got the arrow, and then he said, Athena, guide my shot, and then he.
Yeah, and then the arrow flies through the rings. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, and then there was like a person that 2 people were in love with, and there was the other one that couldn't be killed, and his only weak spot was his ankle.
Yeah, that's Achilles.
Yes.
Yeah, he dies at the end of the Trojan War.
Yeah. It's strange. Like, of all places a person can die, he dies when someone shoots an arrow in his ankle.
But do you know why actually it's the heel, not the ankle? Do you know why?
Yeah, and his mother, when he was a baby,
Uh-huh.
molhou ele na água do não sei aonde.
Of the river Styx.
Yeah, that river. The river of the souls.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't find the mural. Oh no. I wish I could show you this one, Rafa.
I'm so sorry if you hear crying in the background, okay?
Okay, dude. Is there a problem? Do you need some help?
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay.
My brother.
Oh, young brother?
He's not crying, he's eating.
Uh-huh.
Just a sec.
No problem, man. Go. no problem. Half, I can't find the mural, man, sorry. It's here somewhere, but this place is quite large. And for some reason I cannot find it. Like in the palace.
I found the one about Medusa.
You found what, sorry?
The one about Medusa.
Oh, okay.
Medusa, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, that's the one. Let me see if I more cool places for us to see. Oh, I have another cool one. Let me try to find the hot gates here. Yeah, man.
In the game, to the gates of Hades.
No, they're not here. Actually, hang on, Half. I have something to explain. Let me see if I can fast travel.
I love Hades.
Here.
I know he's like kind of bad and stuff, whatever. He's cool.
Yeah, he's awesome. And in the Hercules movie, he's so great.
Yeah.
I like the flaming hair kind of thing. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a thing about Hades to discuss here. You were talking about the gates of Hades, right?
Yes.
So the place we're going to right now is the Thermopylae, which is Greek for the hot gates. And they're called the hot gates because we have hot water running in the region here. So I think there is a little bit of lag in the video, but there is a little pond here with water coming out. So this is like volcanic water with lots of sulfur. Sulfur in Portuguese is enxofre. So the Greeks said that the gates of Hades were near to the Thermopylae. They were actually saying, no, somewhere around the Thermopylae, if you look hard enough, then you can find the entrance to the underworld, because that's what it is. And I've searched this place a lot, and they're not here. Couldn't find any cave or anything like that. So sorry. Let me just meditate so it becomes the day again.
Mister, and not about Greek mythology now.
Oh.
Did you ever watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No, sorry, Half, I haven't.
Oh my god, you need to watch.
Okay.
I'm super mad.
Why are you mad, man?
Because there's already the 7th season, but Netflix is not going to launch it until next year. I'm mad.
Okay.
I want to see it.
What is it about, Half?
It's a comedy about detectives.
Okay. And it's on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take a look.
It's like super famous now.
I don't watch a lot of TV, man. I tend to play quite a bit of video games, but not a lot of TV.
Yeah, I don't watch TV. I think no one watches TV anymore.
Yeah, I think so too, man. So,
TV is like old century now.
yeah,
Everyone is watching.
Netflix and YouTube, that's it.
Yeah.
And so this is the Lion of Leonidas. So after he died, and the whole thing with the 300 and the battle and so on, so they made a monument in his honor. So they made this lion here. And it's quite like a narrow place, right? Because you have the walls on one side, and then on the other, it's just a cliff. So it's this huge problem, because the Persians were moving the troops through here to visit, actually to try to conquer Greece. And then the other super cool thing, let me see if I can get my horse here. Come on, horse. Here. is...
Is there like a monument of Poseidon?
There probably is. We can walk around the game and see if we can find a statue of him. So, the actual gate... Sorry, Hafa?
I don't know why, but I like to call the gates of Hades Hell Gates or Gates of Hell.
Yeah, because that's kind of what they are, right?
Yeah. And it's a cool name.
Yeah, totally. So...
Like, welcome to the Gates of Hell.
So man, this is what we actually say is the Thermopylae, the hot gates. If this passage right here.
Oh, so it's not really gates, it's a passage.
Yeah, it's a passage. So it's called a gate because it kind of looks like a gate. And this is the place where the Spartans held back the Persians. This exact spot here, where they would line up side by side and fight and so on.
I'm really mad at the game for not having Hades.
Yeah, sorry dude.
Or Sistema. I want to look at the race. It's
Odyssey.
is maybe part of Hades, the underworld. The fate of Atlantis story arc arrives June 4th to open the way to the underworld.
Yeah, it's one of the expansions.
Yeah, probably. At least they have, right?
Yeah, they have some, but it's like I remember you go like under the thing, but I don't think you actually talk to gods. Anyway, Rafa, anywhere else in Greece that you want to take a look at?
I don't know.
Okay, let me see if we can find like the ocean here. We can find a piece of the Mediterranean. Oh, here. Just so that we can take a look. Because it's actually almost lunchtime, oh my god. 11:54 on my watch.
11:55 on my computer.
Yeah.
Same thing. 11:55 and 15 seconds. 16. 19 seconds.
Okay. So here we go. This beautiful thing in front of us is the Mediterranean.
Wait,
And
okay, now I can see.
so cool and so awesome, right?
Can you like dive into the sea in the game?
Yeah? Let's take a look.
Oh, is there underworld in the a world under the sea? Poseidon.
Now, there is one of the expansions in the Fate of Atlantis thing. You actually get to visit Atlantis. But I have not played that yet.
So
But in the game here we have sharks and fish and some other stuff.
sharks, they can't kill you, right?
Yeah, in this mode they can't, but in the regular game you're dead, right? You're toast.
Yeah, of course. And
So here we go.
fish kill you? Like, are there poisonous fish in the game?
No. And actually I think one of the few species... Look, a whale! Oh my god!
Where?
I'm coming up. Hang on. It's the video is lagging behind. But I'm swimming next to a huge whale. Oh, this is so cool, man.
You didn't know about the whale?
No, I have never like seen a whale while I was swimming. This is the first time.
So cool.
Ah, let me go down here see if we can get some sharks.
In the game, it's not like Minecraft that you need breath, right? You can just dive in.
No, that's the thing. In the regular game, you run out of breath. There is a limit. But since we are on something called the discovery mode, and then it just lets you like walk around, and no animals can hurt you, nothing bad can happen to your character, so you can just do whatever. Yeah, but no sharks here.
Maybe that's why you saw the whale.
Yeah, probably, because the only other time in this game when I saw a whale, I was like sailing on a boat, and then a whale jumped out of the water and freaked me out a lot. Because I was like just like having fun and everything was fine, and then all of a sudden like a whale comes out and I screamed, and my wife was like, "Hey honey, are you okay? What's going on? Can I help you?" So I'm trying to get to the little boat there in the distance.
Probably like you don't have enough wind to see the whales.
Yeah, probably not. But this was cool, man. This is the only time ever that I saw the whale like underwater. And I played this game for like many hours. Like I finished except for the expansions, I finished everything that there's to do in the game. It's the first time I saw whale.
The expansions you need to like pay for them.
Yeah, you pay for the base game, and then they release the expansions like, and you cannot, the thing is, if you buy only the expansions, you cannot play them. You have to get the base game too.
So you basically need the expansions, like você paga R$100 todas, ou você precisa pagar R$20 por cada um?
No, you can do both. You can buy whichever ones you want, or you can buy them all at once.
When you buy all of them at once, do you have just I'm trying to see if
Yeah, probably.
like if you can see if my mom buys it for me.
So here we go, Half. I'm trying to go after the Athenian ship here. But rain's starting. Yeah, they're gonna be much faster than me. Here, dolphins! Dolphins, dolphins, dolphins!
Dolphins, where?
Just passed. Spartan ship. Found it?
It's a little complicated, that's how
Yeah.
I love dolphins. They're the best sea creatures.
No, man, the coolest sea creatures are octopuses.
Dolphins are like cute things.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I like octopuses and manta rays. Yeah, man, huge storm.
What lemon tree? They just discovered that you know that whales exist.
Yeah,
That is because whales and just
yeah, and if you see one, the gods come after you. That's the reason why. I wish we could find the dolphins again. Let's go down here, so it's too shallow to go in. Oh, just a ford. Mm-hmm.
Especially when you like, oh, I'm going to the beach, and then when you get there, the water's like crystal clear, you can see everything.
Yeah.
It's the best ocean.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare in Brazil.
Yes, you can find lots of very clear water in the Caribbean usually.
Yeah,
Water in Brazil is a bit more dark.
yeah. I found one place in Brazil that is crystal clear.
Where?
Almost a Caribbean. I
Okay. Never been there. Super clear water?
It's so beautiful. Yes, look.
Ah, that's nice.
So beautiful. I work with my friend. Her mother is... Look, pretend you don't know that I'm showing Brazil. What would you say? Wait, presenting.
Okay, hang on.
Is it?
It's loading. Just a second.
Can you see it now?
Yes. Oh my god, man.
Yeah, it's super beautiful.
Oh, that's so cool, Huff. Yeah, cool place, man. I like it.
The only bad thing is there are a lot of algae in the shore, so when you go swim, you're like full of algae.
Uh-huh.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But still cool. Very cool.
Alright, man. So let's wrap this up, Huff. Let's get some lunch. Right?
Okay.
So, by the way, man, thank you very, very much for joining in and spending basically 2 hours here, man. I had a lot of fun talking to you and playing the game here. And I hope we can work together again in grade 7, right?
Yes.
I have a few more plans for like video games and some other stuff because grade 7 has Vikings, the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and lots of other cool stuff. So,
Don't be mad at me,
uh,
but let's say some Vikings are not my
not your jam? Okay, man, no problem. But anyway, still a cool civilization, right? Interesting mythology and so on, still cool.